Alright, hello everybody. So, Mark here again. I'm late to the party on this one, right? Max Aarons, it's done deal. He's in on a loan deal. Again, I'm late to the party. I'm sorry. I'm still going to give my 2 cents, my wee thoughts. But here's what happens. I was overseas getting Americans out of a war zone and making sure they got back to America safely. It's a whole big story. But I missed this, right? I was overseas in the Middle East and obviously I saw everything that everybody was posting. Good news, right? So let's just talk about the player. Obviously, 25-year-old, came up through Norwich, right? Had, I think, over 200 appearances for them. Won the championship. He's been capped for England at under 21. Decent pedigree on him. I think he went to Bournemouth for it was 6 or 7 million, something like that, right? So decent wee transfer fee there. Didn't make a lot of Premier League appearances, and obviously we've seen the loan after he moved to Bournemouth. We've seen the loan last year to Valencia, and he never really played there. He only had a handful or so of games there. So what sort of player is he, right? I mean, there's highlight videos of him online. Everybody's talking about him in the Rangers circles at the minute. Obviously, very, very fast, right? Attack-minded fullback, right up our alley. The type of player that we like out wide in defence. We like those overlapping runs. Obviously, overlapping runs, it's a piece in the Scottish game that you've sort of got to have in your club. And the recovery sprints. We talk about Tav at the moment. Obviously, I think he's still good. He is who he is, but he's just not got that pace and stamina to make those recovery runs after going forward and needing to get back. Aaron certainly has that, right? Very strong dribbling outlet type play for him. He's averaging, you go through the numbers, it's like 50 dribbles per 90 minutes and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with stuff like progressive dribbles per 90 minutes and all that, but his numbers are pretty decent there. Passing as well. Does pretty well when it comes to distributing the ball for the right back position. He can also play a wee bit of left back, but we know he's primarily a right back player. Defensively, very active, right? This is something that's very good. I personally thought the last couple of seasons we can be a bit lazy in defence. He's very, very active in duels, which is exactly what I want, and I think it's going to fit what the manager's looking to do defensively as well. So again, he reads the ball well. I mean, and the game in general, he reads very, very well. He's capable of blocking shots and he's eager to block shots. For what I've seen of him, he's one of those players that doesn't just block a shot if it's like, I'm in position. If I do end up blocking this, that's fine, but I'm not really attacking that block. He's not like that. He does attack the opposition's shooters and gets in the way and is active when it comes to blocking shots. But again, for me, the biggest thing that I really like about him defensively is he's able to cover. Not only is he able to recover when he goes forward, but he can cover dangerous runs that are going forward against him. He's very, very effective at covering the opposition's runs. He fits well into high pressing type defensive schemes and possession type tactics. Obviously, that's Russell Martin's style. He obviously has a connection with Russell Martin for Norwich, so he fits well into that. To me, that shows that the manager's out there actually looking for players that fit his system, and he's no just trying to bring players in and hope that they can be a round peg in a square hole and just sort of make things work. Pretty strong football intelligence on the 25-year-old. Good examples of just being very. He's not a reactionary player. He's more anticipatory. He likes to anticipate the game and get in and neutralise attackers, which again, for me personally, I like that style in a defender. I don't like reactionary type defenders at all. And for too long, I felt some of our defensive rotations and some of our defensive play in general have just been far too reactionary and no being proactive and no being anticipating either the movement of the attacking team or just the attacking scheme in general. So personally, I'm excited about just that style of play, that difference that we might see out of a player like Max Aarons. Obviously, he's very close with the manager. Martins was his former captain at Norwich. And the one thing I did see that Martin says was he sees Aarons as somebody with wonderful talent and a hunger to improve, which, I mean, goodness sake, of course, you've just signed the boy, you're going to talk well about him, but those are good signs, right? I mean, he could have said anything about him, and he's saying those things that it tickles me a wee bit. The biggest thing for me is the pace and stamina, right? Because he's going to be able to get up and down the pitch on the right side of the defence, attacking and playing defensively in recovery, and I think in the Scottish game it's a must. And we've seen Tav, I'll say the word dominate, but he was fantastic in his position at right back for many, many years until Father Time starts catching up. And those recovery runs just put a lot. The recovery runs that he cannot make anymore just put a lot of extra stress on the defensive rotation, and that's when we saw things falling apart, especially last year. And I think a lot of that, most of that, all of that could go away with Max Aarons playing right back. Technical skill, I think he's a confident dribbler for what I've seen on his highlight type stuff. Solid crossing, passing ability, can't complain. Defensive aggression, again, that's always big for me. I like defenders to be aggressive. He's very proactive in tackles, likes a duel, likes to intercept the ball and get in the way and breaking up the attacking scheme. He's comfortable in high press, which we see in Scotland on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. In Scotland, we're starting to see a lot of that sort of stuff all over football, really, but it does suit the Scottish game, and we are seeing teams play the high press, especially that other team likes to do that sort of stuff. Another big strength, we've talked about it, but I think it's key, the manager relationship, right? One thing, I know so much just that the manager knows his game and knows what he's going to get out of him, but the trust to maybe let him play and maybe push Tav and maybe either move Tav to the inside or move him to the bench, I think the manager having the relationship with Aarons could help with that sort of transition, because it's going to be a bit rough when it happens, obviously. And look, for what I've seen, he doesn't seem very comfortable in front of a camera. I know many people are, obviously, but he seems eager, he seems confident, he understands the club, it seems, and if he doesn't understand fully, I think there's people close to him that will be able to help him with that. So I'm excited about it. Obviously, there's negatives to consider as well. He's got a wee bit of an injury history, a lot of hamstring issues he's had since 2023. He also had quite a bit of a calf problem that kept nagging him. So managing the fitness could be an issue, especially it seems like our backroom physio staff's been a bit dodgy the last couple of seasons. Hopefully these injuries don't pop up with him. Aerial duels, he's not particularly dominant in the air. Yeah, obviously set pieces are a big part of the Scottish game, but look, for a right back to be dominant in the air, we didn't really see it too much. It's not that big a thing. You can't have all four of your defenders across the back, or however many defenders you're playing with, you can't have them all be dominant in the air. It's just not a thing that happens in modern football, and he's just one of those guys that's not very good in the air. So we'll have to deal with that. And then the creative passing. So I mentioned before, very good, very solid when it comes to passing, but he's not at that elite level yet when it comes to delivering like line breaking type balls. That ball that just bursts open a defence. He's not really got that in him yet. When you're looking at progressions, like progressional passing there 90 minutes, you're wanting to see 7 and greater in a 90-minute span. That's sort of what your elite players have got when they've got that skill. He's just under 4. So you're looking at 4 deep type progressions that can really put pressure on the back line. He's a few away from being at elite level status, but still quite solid. I mean, to be just under 4, because those are essentially creating chances. So you're looking at just under 4 on a 90-minute span, where the elite level's greater than 7 and greater. He's still got a wee bit to go there, but again, that's something he can maybe develop in his game. We'll just have to see. But I had to come up with some negative things, and that's one of them, because he's just not at that elite level. We'll see. I mean, look, the Tavernier thing is an issue, right? I mean, he's got to challenge Tavernier. It would be great if he comes right out for the pre-season and just sparkles and shines, and it's an easy choice for the manager. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think no matter what happens, it's a wee bit of a difficult choice. But look, Tav showed last year he can move inside. I thought he actually did all right last year when he moved inside. And if we can get that recovery pace on our forward going right back, if we can get that, I think that just leaves a lot less pressure on the defensive rotation when we give the ball away, or when the opposing team wins the ball back and tries to counter. That was a big issue last season, and to be honest, I've talked about it on previous videos, probably a big reason why we ended up a goal behind in many games last season. So look, it's a short-term deal as well, right? It's a 1-year loan. There's no an option to buy. You know, you do run the risk of having a Cherney situation where he sparkles and shines and prices himself out to come in. But look, overall, it's a good loan signing. It's a good guy to bring into the club. He's in a place in his career where he's trying to make something happen after last season and the disappointment at Valencia. So 0 complaints for me. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to watch him. I'm excited to see him, somebody who's seen Martin's sort of style of play, and he's thrived in Martin's style of play. I'm interested to see this pre-season how he looks, and then getting into the start of the season. So that's it. Sorry I was a wee bit late to this one. Hopefully it's alright to still put out a Max Aarons video a couple of days late, and I'll come back with a couple of other videos this week now that I'm back and rested and all that good stuff. That's it for the minute. My wee thoughts, and do all the liking and subscribing and the sharing and all that. It's going to help. It's going to help me make more of these videos, and give me some feedback, a wee comment, a wee thumbs up, something like that. Just all the things that all the YouTube idiots say. Do that for me as well. Right, thank you. We'll talk soon. See you later. That's it. Bye.